feel for what is in the community, and then we're trying to approach some folks and get reactions, and we're trying to judge from the reactions we got, who looked more realistic, but then we knew in the end that's, you can't really tell a lot. After a certain point, you want to do some assessment. After a certain point, it's not, oh, this one over that one is, we could do the other, we'll go the other way. Absolutely, absolutely. And that's one of the lessons that I feel all of us have learned since we began this process. That those who might have been, for example, eligible and were not, quote, chosen, unquote, and we were just as eligible as those who were. And we're very interested in trying to address that as well. So even though we have a kind of formal program set up, we're also interested in developing, I don't know what to call this, a kind of parallel track. For interested folks who are not, quote, chosen. Because the not chosen are not less whatever than the chosen. We have to start somewhere, right? So,
if I may,
yes.
I actually do take some, I was going to say comfort, I'm not sure if it's comfort, some good feeling from the not being has already provoked and continues to fuel a process in me that is transformational.
Fabulous, congratulations. That's really wonderfully productive with what comes to you in life. Vis-a-vis this question of whether or not you got picked. You know, as a Christopher the Mill like that. That's great to be when a person can get in their life, in the place in their life where they take things like that as an opportunity to work with that very issue you were just naming there about one's own terrible violence. How to be able to see that own, and I know from my own experience, like maybe one of the hardest things for me, to be able to see when I'm caught in my violence, rather than, oh, I'm just pissed off. I started there. Okay, very good. We have some more minutes now. So, oh, yes, okay, yes. Go ahead.
My name is Enrique. I didn't have to write my name down because I usually get so provoked when I speak. I usually get what my name is, but just wanted to out that first. I am applying. I'm terrified about applying. I'm terrified that my violence will be exposed and I'll be focused and it's going to be out now and stuff. So it's pretty scary to be also applying. So I'm terrified with that. And it's interesting how Doug mentioned, when you're dealing with gay love, that there's so much violence that comes up, and I'm realizing that, and it's very clear that the consent form seems so appropriate to me because it's so provoking. My own violence, the experiences I've had in my own gay relationships, and also any kind of I'm exploring that. One thing that really helped soothe some of the trauma is, or that terrified feeling, is that it's innovative also, and it's also it's new, and you guys are also with us, and you guys are also trying it with us, and sometimes I have an authority complex where you guys know more than I, and I try to please you guys and try to figure out what it is that you guys want. But it didn't seem like that. It was kind of very new for me to see that the application kind of showed all that. It was really wonderful. I was shocked at how simple the application was, but I think that made me more terrified.
Okay, thank you. Okay, other comments?
Well, I'm very excited about the process and everything, but I'm here right now because I want to fess up to this part of my personality that those of you who have been kind of aware, the last few months I've been trying to work with more of the hateful side of my personality, and it's sort of I just wanted to kind of name that when I first saw the application itself, it's like almost all of the hatred around performing that has been there for me all my life, around all the things I've had to jump through in terms of like all the hoops from the time, you're going to go to this, whatever school in order to get into this college, in order to go to this school, whatever, and all of that stuff came out in this like enormous rage of how dare I have to do one more of these, and it was just, I just wanted to name that because this place was so furious. And I'm excited about what it's going to create, but I'm really recognizing that this part of me that has to really be worked with, because it's almost like it's been unleashed. And like from all the years of having, I wasn't afraid, I remember every application I filled out, I've been just terrified. Oh my God, am I going to get in? Am I going to get in? This time, what is provoking is this rage, this fury, this entitlement, this fury, this sort of how dare they, blaming everything. It's just astounding. So I wanted to just name, this is the struggle of me being kind of me as I'm sort of trying to kind of work with material, and I'm recognizing, oh, okay, look at this, and like that anything else, number 4, for the rigid kid in me that wants to know what the next thing is, that's like the most, oh my God, do I fill it out? If I don't fill it out, does that mean that I'm a stupid person? Like all sorts of things, and then enormous rage and hatred around, why did they even put that in there? How dare they not define it? Because I know how to, if I'm defined, then I know how to do with it. But if it's not defined, then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be me, and it's like, freedom? What the hell are you guys talking about? That's the end point. I don't know what freedom is. So it provokes such enormous feelings. And I just wanted to name that piece, as excited as I am about what this thing is about and this project. I wanted to kind of name where I'm at with this process right now.
Were you saying, Ali, that you were trying to work with this place that got provoked?
Yes, that wanted to immediately sort of just basically shut down, wanted to reject it all, wanted to kind of just immediately sort of have, and I was like, whoa, look at this. This must have been how you actually were feeling when you had to perform for your parents all those goddamn years, and yet you never dared. It was never possible to actually have that kind of reaction. So here it is, it's coming up because gay love is sort of saying, I'm interested in you. It's like suddenly like this part of me that never got a chance to breathe is what shows up. And it's so painful that this is what wants to show up around gay love. Rather than, I want the beauty of gay love, but of course, I can't have that if I can't deal with this process, this place that is so big and has been so docile or so locked up. It's not even been docile, it's been locked up. So, that's the work.
Yeah, wow. Thanks for sharing that, Ali. Whoa, I'm sure you could feel the energy coming there. It's very intense for you, isn't it? After you're right, after all those decades, to get this level of chance finally is hardly bearable, hardly even bearable, it sounds like. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's been locked in the bottom of some cellar somewhere, and it's like suddenly like been given life, and it's like furious about the life it's not lived, and and sort of just wants to burn everything. And it's like, and at the same time, how to like work with it, how to tame it, how to relate to others around it. It's like, hi. Hi.
How would you describe how that's been going for you so far?
Moment by moment. Falling into one pitfall and into this abyss, and then coming out, and then sort of like really like just burying my skin. What wants to come out of my skin? It's like this really feeling of like constantly something that I want to like peel out. And like having to work with it, so everything feels intolerable. I didn't hear, but
I want to join. I feel like
well, as you can sense, obviously the training program opens up as the rawest kinds of levels. And certainly Serious Inner Work should open that up as well. It should be intended to open that up. So the training program is an extension and deepening of that. Further confirming and empowering, if you will, of what seems so daunting and hard to face, as Ali and Enrique and all you all have been sharing so far. The inner shadow is the toughest thing of all for any person. It's not really what's outside that's so scary in the end. It's what's really lurking right next door. And the most terrible kind, And yet it's right next door. That's how the defenses work out. It's so close. It's so powerful. How to invite that in and begin that laborious, sensitive, difficult effort of rehumanizing what had been so viciously dehumanized. So, I see we have another minute or so.
Yeah.
Your name, please?
Thomas. Oh my God. I'm like my feelings just like all over the place, and I'm one of the people that got this application, and just listening tonight, my body is just vibrating, and I can't tell if it's terror or excitement or both, and it feels like it's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like, and you know, I don't know if I'm going to explode or implode. And I think what's come up tonight, especially around all this, was that, and in hearing the consent, the I want to say opportunity, but it's like that doesn't even seem like a good description of what this is for me in terms of how, you know, I feel like I've worked on so many things about myself for such a long time, and now this is like a chance to go into this whole other realm of my own inner work. And as I was sitting there thinking, you know, typically there's that real inferior kid who just feels like, oh, he's just not good enough, he's so lame, he's so stupid. And that's there too. But then also, part of what's coming up was that this is becoming an opportunity for me to get into what's behind all the defenses. And when we talk about violence, and it's like, I don't think I have a clue to what my violence is like. I want to think that I'm just shut down, and you know, I don't want to see the violence. And unless I actually get there, you know, how can I possibly hold on to this other vision that that I'm inspired to also? And so it's terrifying to think that that's going to get exposed. And I feel like it's also time that it get exposed. So.
This stuff has obviously touched you.
Yeah.
Wow, well, this is getting nice. Now we got the nice feeling. You guys feel how it is now? A little bit. This is where we should start. But naturally, I said, yeah. Okay, my apologies for those of you who might have wished to participate and didn't get a chance, and so on and so forth. We do have to get our butts kicked out of here at 9:30, so they will come in and raid us if we don't cooperate with that. So, unfortunately, we do have to set a limit to this process. I do want to thank you very much for all of you who opened up, all of you who had reactions and feelings, all of you who were participating by just sitting there and being a part of what we had to share and get into, which, as you can sense, so daring, but yet so innovative, so very gutsy of us to want to pull off, attempt to pull off such an item as we have outlined tonight. Next month, we will get more into the core curriculum of the proposed training program and look at some of the particulars there and share a number of documents. Otherwise, thank you very much for your attendance to